my kids first, my firstborn is Callie. Her full name is Christiana Amanda Lauren. When I had her, I was 19 back then. I got married also shortly after finding out that we were pregnant with Callie. It was no accident. At that time, I really wanted to have a child early on. I don't know what came into me. I don't know, maybe innately, I really wanted to have a child very early on in my life. And thankfully, I've never regretted that, not 1 second in the entire, say, 13 years that I've had children. She loves to cook. She bakes a lot. She sees me kasi baking in the kitchen. And I like, maybe because I'm a young mom, parang I really had this, fantasy idea in my head na I would grow up to have a best friend in my firstborn, which is happening right now. Kasi I talk to her, I go on dates with her, she tells me everything I feel, no? And I also tell her everything. We have no secrets in the house. It's one of my rules. We are allowed to say our feelings, and also we respect each other's opinions. She's one of a kind. She's really very good with her hands. So parang we've exposed her to a lot of activities that involve her hands, like cake decorating, origami, calligraphy now. But she does it all on her own. So for Alonzo is Alonzo Romeo Jose. So A kasi, B, C, D na kami. So kailangan ko lang ng A for hashtag purposes. I wish I can tell you more about that A, but it's really the reason because, as you know, everything is on social media now. So I want to keep it that way. So he's very jolly. He's very happy baby. Kaya lang 1-year-old pa siya, so wala pa akong masyado nakita, but mas outgoing siya than that. So back when I was pregnant with Callie, I was very young. I guess a lot of people didn't really believe that I can be a good mom. So you see, I've had plenty of help being a young mom, but it was different back then. They didn't have a lot of what we have now when I became pregnant naman with Alonzo. Kasi that's about 11 years, 11 years yung gap nilang dalawa. So ibang-iba nakita ko talaga, as in, even the things that were available, I guess the classes that are available for pregnant women now, ang galing lang na nag-evolve yun into that kind of process. It's more enjoyable now, I guess. Mas maraming nag-cater na products, na companies into moms, and providing them with a lot of creative things for them to do while they're, of course, enduring 9 months of pregnancy. So, ibang-iba siya. In terms of hardships, when I was pregnant with Callie, it was more of emotional struggle because a lot of people were already making me feel like, they weren't really saying it per se, but they were making me feel like I wasn't good enough to be a mom. And when they look at me, I just know that parang I feel, they feel I will not be a good mom. And understandably, because I was very young. The struggle was really more of emotional for when I had Callie. I didn't have any problems when I didn't have nausea, or wala akong ganon. Hindi ako masyadong nahihilo, hindi rin ako maarte sa pagkain. So, it was really more of mas mabigat sa feeling, and I really had to push through all of that thinking and all of that stress, and just really prove to them, kasi only time will prove how good of a parent you will be or you have become. I've earned that kind of respect. Like when I look at them and they look at me, I feel that they respect me now as a mom. With Alonzo naman, it was more of, what was the struggle? There was really no struggle with Alonzo because I was already 29 or 30, I think. And now everybody was so excited because as they saw Callie growing up and how we handled Callie while we were very young, with all the struggles we had to go through, and we actually na-overcome namin lahat ng struggles na yun. Now they were all excited to see the next child, which was really more of a plan kind of pregnancy. Pero syempre, a lot of people won't believe me because it's an 11-year gap. But I was telling them that it is planned because, as for, of course, for families, and for parents, I know for husbands and wives that we all have our own take on family planning. And I guess for Boyd and I, we really wanted to make sure that this time around we were very ready. people weren't gonna doubt us anymore, and we didn't have to prove anything to anybody anymore. It was more of a freer kind of a process for us, and it was happier. And I think that transcends in the way that we were carrying the baby. And when Alonzo came out, I feel that he was all happy. So it was like they had rainbows in their eyes, and you know, they were very happy to have him, and so were we. And even Kali, which came as a surprise to me because I was very afraid na baka she will not take Alonzo very well. But thankfully, I'm very proud that we have raised a child in Kali that was very loving and very caring athlete. I've never seen her jealous, not one bit. And I was very ready for that. Kasi nire-ready ko din sarili ko, baka magselos to. Lalo na when I was pregnant with Alonzo, he was being showered with a lot of things already. A lot of people were sending gifts, and I didn't want naman na pantayan yun ng gifts na bigyan ko rin si Kali, because that will not be right naman, diba? Parang ayokong ma-feel niya na parang just because Alonzo got this, she has to have it too. And we were explaining to her that, you know, Kali, towards the process, 11 years you had us all to yourself. And Alonzo will not have that chance. Kasi Alonzo will always have to share you with us. So yung mga ganun naman. Pero thankfully for both pregnancies, magkaiba man sila, but somehow it felt more familiar, because I guess kahit gano'n nakatagal yun, as a mother, you will always feel that special bond between you and your baby. My concerns when I was pregnant with Kali were more of fear that my body was not ready enough. Kasi at 19, of course, you don't really feel na parang, although I do know that like most of our lolos and lolas naman, di ba, 16 years old sila, 17, medyo young sila nag-anak, kaya some of the families, di ba, 13 siblings, 9 siblings. Pero ngayon kasi, ano na for practical reasons, I guess we really opt to have 2, 3, or 4 maximum, no? But for me, ang concern ko nun, it's really more of kaya-kaya ng katawan. I was very afraid kasi first time ko manganak tapos I was very young. And even if I wanted to ask somebody else about what their experiences were like, I'm sure they will not be able to share the same one, because when they had their children, they were probably about 25, 26, no? So magkaiba pa rin talaga yung body physique. As for Alonzo, it was more of fear because I was already nearing 30 years old. I was already 30 years old. So you can imagine, I'm like, oh my God, so this time my fear naman is because baka I'm old na for this kind of, and plus, I haven't been pregnant for a decade. My worries and my fears basically when I was having Kali was baka she will not develop properly. Kasi first time mama ko And around that time, I remember na I had friends who were having difficulties, and since bata pa ako, dahil a lot of people were doubting me nga, parang natakot ako na baka tama sila, baka hindi pa ganun kaya ng katawan ko to give that much nutrition to my child, no? So my fears were like, what do I feed her? What do I give her? What do I listen to? Kasi with so many advice that you get from friends, from family, you have to screen it, right? And I didn't know how, because I was still very young at that time. For Alonzo, when I was having Alonzo, it was more of an overload of information. Like, you have to do this, you have to do that. I can exercise, I cannot exercise. You cannot eat raw, I can't eat raw. You know, the joys of being pregnant is just one of my favorite joys of all time, because you only get to experience those joys during that 9-month period. You don't repeat that anymore. And even if you do, on your second child, it will be so much different. Different set of joys, different set of being happy. And I feel like for Kali, even when we had challenges then, I was very happy having her. In fact, I was the only one happy, apart from Boyata. At that time, we were so happy that joy actually carried me over. Like, even if I felt a lot of people were doubting me, I felt na parang having her in my stomach was one of the greatest joys I will ever have in my lifetime. And I really claimed that. I felt na parang, you know what, even if they're not happy for me now, they will be happy for me in time, because I will prove to them that I will be a good mom. Despite of my age, despite of whatever I can or cannot do, it will be good. My motherhood journey is like a roller coaster. I have an almost teenager and I have a baby. You can imagine how crazy that is. Even until now, I feel like I'm still adjusting. I feel motherhood doesn't really have a manual. I mean, there's nobody nobody can ever tell you what to do with your children. Kaya nga sabi nila, di ba, mothers know best talaga for their kids. Because who can ever tell you na this will be good for your baby when you know, sa loob mo palang alam mo na ang desires ng anak mo. Pag nakita mo sila, only you can understand that, oh, he wants milk. Oh, if he says, oh, that means food, no? Only a mother can really understand the language of their kids even while they're still babies. And I feel that extends until they are in teenage years, even until adults na sila, because I know that for sure because I still have that bond with my mom. Mommy Mundo has been an integral part of my motherhood. It's been very vital to me. I know that Ate Janice, I don't think she's aware of how much of an impact she's had with me, with a lot of moms out there. I know a lot of friends, a lot of acquaintances na talagang look up to her. Because you know, when she was starting, I think I met her back when she was still talagang starting pa lang, Mommy Mundo. She didn't change kasi. She's still the same Ate Janice I know from way back until now. She speaks to me the same way, and yet she's already accomplished so much. Not just for herself, but for the mommyhood. For everybody. For all the moms who look up to her, and for all the moms who actually wait for her events. For the moms who actually look forward to seeing what she has to offer this coming year. Kasi she's already created a world for us where moms can actually be free to say pieces of advice that they can give to each other. She's made it an open thing for everyone, for all the moms to be able to help one another. It's a community, It's already a community she's already built on her own. And plus, what better way to have that kind of community and be led by a mom like her? Kasi only somebody who has the same intentions, same feelings, same struggles, ang makakaintindi sa'yo na makaka-create din ng katulad ng ganong community para sa amin lahat.